I've started this video so many times. Currently at the dumpster, garbage truck. Can you hear it? I'm hoping not. Airplanes going over, sirens happening. I'm determined to make this work. Let's do this. Hi there, I'm Katie Selden, and I have been off of YouTube for a while now, 8 months maybe. Haven't posted since January. I had been posting a lot of DIY videos, really just trying to find my niche, and was struggling. And then some stuff happened in my life that kind of changed things for me, and I did not have the emotional energy to film, post, edit, and do all the things necessary to get videos up on YouTube. So I took a break, much longer than I planned, but I'm back. And for those of you who are following me, I know I have a small following, but if you have missed me, thanks. If you didn't know I was gone, I totally understand. In today's video, I kind of want to take a look back at what has happened in the last number of months since I stopped posting, and really share with you my journey of what I've learned in what I'm calling a season of waiting. So just a brief recap for those who don't know me, I ran a business for 14 years. It was a home decor clothing type store, and I loved it. I had a huge community of people that were a part of my life. I had the most amazing staff in the world. And then right after 2020, I reopened at a larger location. Things were great. And then they weren't. And it felt like everything that was normal to me was little by little being removed. People that were really important in my life, I lost contact with by no choice of my own. My mom had some serious health issues that were really scary. Let's see, I lost my business. We dealt with a ton of crime, and it just became too dangerous to stay open, and I had put everything into that. I lost my staff, all of my customers. Like, I tried to retain that relationship, but after a while I just was dealing with so much. God bless those of you who have stuck with me through this season, and for those of you who I lost touch with, forgive me. Sometimes you just don't have that emotional bandwidth to keep in touch, and that's kind of where I found myself. So that's where I'm coming from. That's where I was. So for the last year, I've really been struggling with figuring out my purpose. Like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing with my life? And I'm a doer. I like to get things done. I like to be organized. I'm a firstborn. That's just by nature who I am. So I dove into so many different things this last year. I opened an antique booth and then I closed it. I tried launching a consulting business online, and then I just couldn't mentally wrap my head around it. I was kind of in a fog and didn't have the confidence, maybe. I don't know if it was the confidence necessarily. It was maybe just the motivation. Like, I just felt drained. I was at the bottom. I had used up all of my energy, emotionally, spiritually, physically. I was wore out, and I needed to accept that. So I would say around January, February, I ended up, both of my parents had a health scare. Within that couple months. Thank God both of them are doing better now. My mom's still struggling with some stuff, but overall, God's gracious, and we're very thankful that it could be a lot worse. Let's put it that way. I didn't expect to get emotional about this, but it's been a lot. This year's been a lot. The last few years have been a lot, but I'm getting through it. I am getting through it, and I'm hoping this is an encouragement for you. I don't know about you, but I've always been the type of person that likes a very clear direction. It's probably control, but I think all of us in some way struggle with an area of control in our lives. Mine is just purpose, like wanting to know what's next, wanting to figure out what's next. And when you don't have clear direction, for someone like me, it has been a very big struggle. I really have lost direction. I've lost purpose. I feel like I've just been stumbling around, unfocused, and that's hard for me. So I actually met with somebody recently, and we were talking, and she had I had expressed that I didn't feel like God was really directing me in a way clearly, and I felt lost. I felt like maybe I was doing something wrong, or I was maybe I was being disobedient, or maybe I just wasn't hearing what he wanted from me. And she looked at me and said, everybody needs people like this in their life. She just looked at me and said, he's telling you to rest, and he's telling you to be patient, and he's telling you to wait, and is preparing you for something, and you don't like it. And boy, was she right. It makes me uncomfortable. It really makes me uncomfortable, the waiting. I don't know if that resonates with you. That's what I'm going to talk about today. What I've been doing in the season of waiting, and how I have learned that that's what I'm supposed to be doing. and I'm supposed to be diligent in the waiting. And so enough about all that I've been going through. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background behind why this is important to me. But now, over the last number of months, I have been really focused on trying to be diligent in the waiting. And I'm going to go over a number of things that I've been doing that I feel like have helped me not only heal, but also stay focused and give myself a purpose without having a huge purpose, if that makes any sense. It's just taking things a day at a time rather than the big picture. And really spending the time, well, trusting God, but really spending the time trying to prepare myself for whatever is next. So however long that takes. I'm okay with the length of time. I'm saying that, I'm publicly saying that whatever amount of time it takes, I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna beat myself up trying to find the right job, the right opportunity, the right, I'm not gonna push things any longer. And if that's where you have found yourself, maybe you're in a season of waiting, maybe it's for a spouse, a child, a new job, a future move, or even something smaller or less monumental, I guess, or less life-changing, but maybe you're just waiting for something next. I want to encourage you today on ideas that I've done, things I've been doing to be diligent in that, and some of the lessons that I've learned. So hopefully you can take something away from this, and let's get started. So one of the first things I've been doing is spending time doing creative journaling. So I got myself a journal here, just a unlined journal, and I'll show you what I'm doing with that. And then I got this sticker book actually from a friend, and when she gave it to me, I was like, am I gonna ever use that? I used to craft a ton. It's beautiful. I mean, everything in it, like all these like stickers, what is it, like 800 stickers in this book, but it is really gorgeous. I'm trying to show you some more. Like, I love the floral. It's beautiful, and I'm like, what can I do with this? I haven't really been crafting a lot lately, and so I take this book, I find the scripture first, and then I find a sticker maybe that I feel like goes with it, and then I put it in this little creative journal, and then I put the stickers, and then I write part of a scripture or whole scripture. This is Philippians 4:11. For I've learned in whatever situation I am to be content. So really a lot of Philippians, I'm focused on Philippians right now, has to do with kind of our mindset and our contentedness and what we're to be thinking on. Another one is, what was the last one I just did? And I'm no artist by any means. I mean, I'm artistic in some ways, but this is really more focused on trying to learn these scriptures and trying to embed them in my head. I'm not done with this one, but I'll take like a little sticker, I'll do some doodling, I'll underline, I'll keep repeating these verses to myself. So like, finally, brothers, whatever is true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, commendable, excellence, worthy of praise, think on these things. Great verse during this season of life. So I just use markers, like some fun markers. I'll link all this stuff. I think all of it's on my Amazon is where I got it. I may get commission. I'm not sure if I'm still affiliated anymore. It's been so long, but I will link all of this stuff below. I did get another little one, but it doesn't quite fit. I needed a bigger one. Anyway, that leads me to number 2, which is renewing of my mind. That scripture that I just quoted before, or that I shared before, Philippians 4:8, has been the reminder for me of what I need to be focused on. I need to be focused on what is true, what is right, what is holy, what is pure, all of those things. I might have got that one wrong, but I'm still memorizing that one. Anyway, I found this to be super helpful, that whole journaling in renewing my mind, and really just spending a lot of time renewing my mind in scripture, maybe even listening to prayers. There's a lot on YouTube of people who do prayers that you can kind of follow along if you're having a hard time focusing. But yeah, just really meditating on what is right and what is true, and not the things of this world that end up just bombarding us, and the stress and the chaos of life. Another thing I've really been trying to spend time doing, I had put on some weight just due to stress and life, and being over 40, that is just a whole different thing. I was really struggling with keeping my weight off, so I have lost a little bit of weight. I'm still in the journey of losing more, but really for the most part, just trying to eat more protein, less calories, drink a lot more water, and get up and move, taking walks with Bailey, eating healthy, even stuff like painting my nails or doing a face mask or getting myself ready in the morning. When you're not going to a daily 9 to 5 job, it's really hard to stay in that momentum and really take care of yourself. And I found that because of all the stress I'd been under, I really wasn't doing that. So again, I've bumped that to the top of just being diligent in this waiting season and doing what I can with what I have now. I also have been trying to catch up with friends. So I have made a commitment to get out of the house and go have lunch with a friend at least once a month, and just try to rebuild some of those friendships and relationships that I had put on a back burner a little bit during my, I'll say my grieving season, that it just was too hard to go meet with people and put on a happy face. Even though I knew they didn't expect that of me, I still felt like that friend that was like the depressing friend that I didn't want to be the one who was just like, yeah, nothing good is going on in my life right now. Please pray for me. And that's okay. We all go through bad things and hard things. They were always gracious, but it was me. It was totally me. And I just felt like I wasn't good company during that season of my life. So I have been trying to rebuild that and spend some time, just a simple lunch, coffee, whatever. And that has been really helpful for just giving me a little bit of purpose during this season. So the next 3 have probably occupied the most of my time. I have been in a year-long purge and organizing season. After closing my business, I still had so much stuff left over. I kept thinking and dreaming that I would reopen a shop, and I finally had to let that go and say, I'm not going to be doing that. Lord, if you choose to open that door at some point, great, but I am going to accept that that's not a reality right now, and I am going to get rid of the stuff that is keeping me from living right now, which is all of this excess. It was just taking a mental, like, it was making noise in my head. It was just there. It was everywhere I looked. There was something that needed to be gotten rid of, cleaned out, purged. So I hit it hardcore. I was like, by my birthday, which was in July, I had gave myself a year to just like touch and go through every single corner, cavity, closet, storage space, shed. I even have a trailer. Like, it was a huge deal. I even dug into like some of my parents, like their motorhome. Like, I was intense about that. It feels so good, you guys. Like, if you haven't done that and you have time on your hands, do it. I would highly recommend it. It gave me a sense of purpose. It really did. But this last 6 months in particular, when I was like, I need to be diligent with the time I have, where I don't know what I'm doing next, this is what I need to be doing, and I hit it hard. So I dump stuff at the street. We live on a pretty busy street. There's drawbacks to that, definitely. The noise is a lot, but the best part about it is you can put stuff out there at the beginning of the day and it's gone by the end of the day. It's kind of become a family joke. Like, how long do you think it'll be before this pile of garbage, literally, like to us, it was garbage, like get rid of it, is gone? And yeah, it's crazy. I might have a video I'll post of some of the stuff that we put out there, and literally it was gone within hours. So thank God for that. What do they say? One man's junk is another man's treasure. Literally so true. I did find that as I started cleaning out these physical areas of my life, it really helped clean out the emotional and mental side of me. It just felt so good to see a space clean and orderly. Highly recommend it. If you're a keeper, clutterer, it just feels so good to let it go. Next thing that has occupied a lot of time is projects, which I have recorded little bits and pieces of that. Finished doing our living room. Our entryway is almost done. Getting ready to start on my bathroom and my bedroom, building a closet, doing floors. So those will be projects that I'm hoping to feature on YouTube over time. And that I've been pulling my dad into is just getting the house up to date. My parents had experienced some of the same grief that I had experienced with some family, and so things had kind of fallen off the to-do list, let's say, and so they were piling up and needed to be done. And my dad and I have actually been working on some of that stuff and getting it done, and it feels really good to just upgrade, get things finished, and that has also been a great. Last but not least is a vegetable garden, and I am not a gardener. at all. These are big changes in my life, you guys. These are not true to me. Me getting rid of stuff, not me. Gardening, not me at all. But again, I'm just trying to be diligent in the quiet season and in the waiting. So I did start this garden. I'll put a little video of it. I would like to do a whole separate video about the garden and what I've learned and how ChatGPT saved my garden because again, this is not my forte. I have learned so much and it has been a real diversion, but also a really peaceful time. Like I love getting out there and just watering it, checking on the vegetables and trying to figure out like, is it growing? Is it not? Is it producing? That has been a whole new experience for me. And that has been very therapeutic. Actually, a lot of these things that I've talked about today have been very therapeutic in helping me heal and be whole. And I think that's really what God has intended for me in this season of waiting, that I am to just be diligent in the space of this in-between time, that I really don't have a said purpose or a I guess what the world would call a purpose, but my purpose right now is, you know, helping my parents as they age, taking care of what has been put in front of me. And I am working part-time, as if you're wondering, like, how am I paying for all this? But it's a good position with a friend that I'm working for her, kind of a virtual assistant in a way. And then just selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace has been a blessing as well. I actually just bought a couple pieces of furniture recently, and I might start flipping some furniture on the side, kind of get back to my roots and what I did before. Nothing huge, but something else to just kind of keep me busy and keep my hands busy. So if you're in a waiting season too, maybe things feel quiet, confusing, you're not really sure what's next and you're frustrated, just know you're not alone. And I hope that this encouraged you to maybe look at things a little bit differently. You don't have to force what's next. That's what I was doing. I felt unsatisfied by doing that, and I have found such a peace in just resting in knowing that God will bring what needs to come when it needs to come or if it needs to come, and I just have to be diligent and do my part while I wait. I hope my story blesses you in some way, and if it did, I would love to hear it in the comments below. And I can't wait to get back into doing YouTube more often. I'm not going to push myself. I'm not going to have a rigid schedule. I am going to post when I feel like it, when I have actual content that I feel like is relatable and from my heart, and hopefully that resonates with you better. So until next time.